what are the strengths and challenges?
Right.
I was thinking for number 2, if we're asking what are the strengths, should we just say what are the challenges rather than the most important, just for consistency?
Is it important to keep that most important in there, or just keep it as what are the challenges?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Parallel structure.
Okay. Yeah, just in terms of best practices for survey creation, generally it's thought that the general open-ended questions should come first, just because of the influence of other questions upon it. But I say you can do it. That's just a general suggestion. It is 9 o'clock. I did.
And there were some that we sort of skipped. And didn't make
Yeah,
full
and
decisions on.
And when I went back and I looked at, what we did on facilities, it really felt complicated to me. If existing buildings become too expensive, or tuition out, or rent space, and new building, it didn't seem like a lot of those options were mutually exclusive. It seemed like you could have overlap in those.
Are those going to be on a spectrum?
Yes.
So it kind of allows people
Yes,
to
it
say,
would.
love it, hate it. Yeah.
No, this particular question would not be, I think we decided that it was going to be a multiple choice, but it could.
I thought it was all on that same spectrum.
Do you think, Lynn, that you could try to pull everything together and send us out the proposed survey by Thursday, with us getting back to you with feedback by
Absolutely not.
Monday? No.
This week I can't possibly get that done by Thursday.
Yeah. I hear you.
I just have too much on my plate this week. I can
By Saturday, and then we could try and get any feedback back to you by Wednesday. Just thinking
probably the earliest I could do that. It would have to be early next week.
I'm just
Yeah.
thinking realistically, if we want to get it back to you, like
Right.
back to you, we want to do that before we get to Christmas.
Right. We need to review them before they go up.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel
Let me
like
think
we're
about it.
finished
Get
Should
back
we
to
have
you.
another meeting before they go out? I hate to say that, but
Well, we
I don't feel
have a
like I
finished
can
product.
commit to any more meetings before the new year. I don't know.
So
What are the ones that we still need to decide on? We skipped a few, didn't we?
We highlighted a few to come back.
This is pretty close.
Yeah, it is pretty close. I could probably do like keeping the same format, not like fleshing it out early to be like the finished product or a draft of the finished product, but to kind of go through this and leave this in this kind of same format for review. I could do that sooner.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking it'd be nice if we could see what everybody else
Yeah.
would see, so that we
Yeah.
can offer any thoughts as well, or as
Yeah.
any parts were confusing.
I think it's important for that to happen, for the committee to actually do the survey.
Yeah.
Like just as a
Yep.
dry run,
Mhm.
A handful of people to do that.
Sorry about that.
so
I allow my kids to break through and do not disturb.
That's a good question.
when do we want the survey back by? The meeting's the January 21st, right?
Right. We should ask people to fill it out and return it that week. If you give them too much time, they'll say, oh, I'll
It
fill
won't
it
get,
later. And then they'll lose it.
Return by January 14th, that gives 1 week.
Mhm.
But I don't know if Lynn thinks that's enough, especially if we're
Well,
gonna have written.
that would be 2 weeks.
And if we ask to have it back by
That was in 2
January
weeks.
14th, that's only 1 week between
So
return
what
and the
if-
meeting.
No, I
What
think she
if we
needs more
didn't-
time.
What if we didn't send it out till the 5th of January?
Well, then when are we looking to have it back? I guess is my
Well, the
question.
14th.
Yeah, but Aaron just said he didn't think that gives her enough
Well,
time.
I mean,
which
you think
I
that-
think,
Yeah, that is.
So
Look at my-
we could move our meeting, the big meeting to the 28th.
I might have a conflict.
yeah, I think we settled on the 21st for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's stick to the schedule, at least that date.
I think we've even shared it kind of publicly. Mark your calendar.
We did.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
Saturday.
First.
Brainstorming.
I can't do it that week.
So is this,
Okay, so when were we thinking of getting this thing out to the public?
That's the
The
question.
last meeting,
February 10th. And that gives a week and a half to look at results.
Get it to the post office by the 3rd and you want it back by the 10th, assuming that the post office.
hitting people's mailboxes like that first week of January, like the first half of that.
There's
Right.
not gonna be mail, New Year's Day. there's
Yeah.
not gonna be mail.
I like the 29th and then I feel they'll get it that week of the 3rd or 2nd somewhere and then get it back to us by the 10th. But who has to input all the information? Who has to gather all the information for the 21st?
Right.
How is that gonna be?
Well,
done?
that's the question. I mean, if you're gonna send it to everybody in town, there has to be I'll do the paper copies. I'll get that to you. But then there needs to be photocopying, stuffing envelopes,
Yeah.
labeling, stamping, self-addressed stamp envelopes, and all of that. And then somebody needs to do the electronic version as well.
And then people returning the paper copies, are they mailing them back, which is a delay, or bringing them to the school or the store, or how are they getting returned?
if you're gonna, I mean,
Self.
if you're gonna plan on people getting them back, I would self-addressed stamped envelope.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
they're not gonna invest the 50 cents and
Right.
getting it back in the mail after doing the survey
Right.
too.
Right.
So either a drop off, even a Dropbox somewhere, or SASE.
And I think, if we do a drop off, then I would need to pick those up or somehow get them to me so that I can collate what we have electronically and what we have in physical copies and do something with it that's,
Where are you located?
I'm located in Lyme,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't think that's a big issue with getting it to me. It's just, yeah, yeah. Right. right. It's just an extra step in the process.
Physical amount of time involved in that,
Right,
because if we're looking at a town-wide, that's a lot of paper.
Yeah.
I mean, we can have a work group that we wouldn't need you for here. to do
Right.
this thing And do all that,
right.
Which we should schedule.
pardon me?
Sorry.
Yeah, but, just the collating the information,
That'll be the time consuming part,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, if it comes in electronically, that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
That's already done for you, basically. And then it's just a matter of, making some charts from that can be presented in a cohesive, nice presentation.
so. So you guys are way more savvy, technology than I am. But would we have, I mean, we could all sit here with our laptops and each take a stack of those and just type them in,
I
right?
think that would be the most efficient way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it all ends up into the same place.
Yeah.
And the survey software will make all the pretty charts and
Right.
all that for us.
Now, do you all use a different software other than Google Form? Do you use something
I mean,
different
I've
in
got an
your
account at
town?
work that I could probably use. That works pretty well.
Okay,
How would we all have access to that?
Good question.
But Google Forms.
I probably have to just
So we can all,
Right.
my username or something.
okay.
Yeah.
You want,
run them papers all through a scanner onto somebody's laptop and then email it all to Lynn.
No, I think the matter of my looking at the papers is fine. I mean, I could get the papers, but it's a matter of collating all the information into one format so that it's presentable.
Yeah.
So that is not a good use of your time. So let's, I think we need to plan on us coming together with a date to stuff the envelopes with a self-return.
Did we already have a date set in
We might
January?
have it written down.
Do I have it?
And then we need another date, a work date when we're gonna come in here after they're all back and input all that data. And then Lynn, it comes back to you to
January
put it
2nd.
into.
Right.
Did we set
Plan our
ourselves up
community
for a
meeting.
meeting January?
Have a meeting.
To stuff envelopes is,
Oh, no.
no, that doesn't work.
Has to that week.
It has to be the holiday week.
27th, 28th.
So
You could probably.
are
just
there
do it
some
the same day.
students who need community service hours who can, no, seriously, because
That's a good idea.
stuffing several hundred envelopes, I have some experience with that recently, takes a little while. Great team of volunteers. Close, close.
I just have a quick question. I want to make sure I'm following things correctly. So the plan is to mail out surveys to every member, every person invited. And then how are they getting it back to us?
Readdress prepaid envelopes.
But are we going to put some kind of note on the survey that they can go here to fill it out? That they
Yes.
don't have to mail it?
Absolutely.
I think that has to be like
Yeah.
flashing light.
Maybe encouraged
Yeah.
to do online.
Yeah, right.
And we could actually say our time frame is tight to get the data.
Yeah.
For the meeting, please try to do
I
this
missed
online.
100% of that. I am so sorry.
We're gonna make it very obvious and easy to fill it out online, even on the paper form.
Okay, right, but how is the paper form doing that?
Mail.
Prepaid envelopes.
So you're gonna put prepaid envelopes in for every single person, knowing that 75% are going to use the prepaid envelope?
Good
That's
point.
the only way to do it, if you wanna do it that way.
I
You
thought,
really don't think,
no, I think you definitely have to, you're gonna do, you're
Can
gonna
we
mail
give
it out,
them-
you definitely need to do a self-addressed stamped envelope to get it back.
Can we give them a stamp, not
that's what I was
peeled
thinking,
off?
Oh, yeah.
just stick a stamp in there.
And then
Oh.
they can use it, or they can use it for something else.
Yep.
That's what I do.
That's
Stick a
just-
stamp in there.
That's actually a lot easier,
Yep.
because getting all those envelopes printed up and paid for and
Right, yep.
That way we could snip
Yep.
the stamps.
Now, you've done surveys in the past electronically, right? And
Yeah.
do you get poor
Very
results?
Yeah, we get,
Marginal.
making purposes of the
Yeah.
survey. but
Right.
not-
But you don't get it,
it's
you don't
not
get a
really
good result.
community-wide.
All right.
Does the school district have a indicia, the reduced postage?
no, and neither does the town office.
Really?
Yeah, Christie asked him about it. And heads exploded. And Launders-
Revisit that, but that won't happen in time for this.
All right, so what is the plan?
Yeah.
$1 million question.
Yeah. So,
So if we're sending by the end of December 30th, then I feel like there's gotta be a stuffing party happening on the 29th at the latest.
by mail.
Another option, if it's not feasible for everyone to gather together for a stuffing party, is everybody picks up or is delivered X number of mailings. Envelopes, letters, return address envelopes and takes them home, and a list of names
Yep.
and addresses and takes them
My
home and does
teenagers
it.
would be more willing to do it at my house,
Yeah.
while they're watching a movie than to
Yeah.
come here.
I realize this is different, but that worked really great for campaigning. Trying to get people all together to do stuff is so hard.
Yeah.
But people were quite willing. I think it probably wouldn't be that hard to get people to do it.
And Christie can print all the labels for the addresses, so,
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
So then each person could get to give you 100, give you, you know,
Mhm.
that would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
What are we using for return address? Because return addresses influence whether people open the envelope.
The school.
And I would say the school.
It should be the school. We have one stamp, an inked stamp. I can start stamping envelopes if you want.
That's not
Or we
good.
could
Might
print
be
Or
a
we
these
could
good
do
project
labels.
for the
sticky
kids.
labels too. Whatever's easier.
You know,
We just
I
fold,
have
staple, and put a sticky on there.
yeah,
We
Beth,
could
gotta
just
give
print
it a
them
stamp.
directly onto the envelopes
You
Yeah.
gotta
too.
give them a stamp. Yeah.
That's always an option.
yeah.
I got the Excel file from Christie. Instead of labels, we could just keep loading the printer and then it just prints the return address and the
Yeah,
recipient address.
So if you're printing envelopes, could you print, important school survey enclosed or something like that? Because when you print addresses, it decreases the open rate by a ton.
Yeah.
People just are like, oh, I don't need to read that.
You don't have to use envelopes. Just tri-fold the letter like somebody in the room just said.
Well, not if
You have a stamp in it.
You have to put tape on both open ends, according to the post office, because we've done that,
Church newsletter,
to be able to mail them, because the machine, when it runs through, it'll catch the end of the paper that's not taped.
Brenda, I think that would be tricky with including an envelope and stamp for them to return it though.
And you almost need a bigger envelope to hold the smaller envelope,
Right.
right? So
Or you just
Which
fold
is
up
gonna
that
cost
small
more
one.
postage, because it'll be, whatever.
it goes by.
I'm struggling with this concept because I couldn't agree more with Brenda, like I'm super cheap. And so I'm thinking of a stamp for the, yeah, it's a stamp to go out, it's a stamp to come back, it's more stamps because now we have to have bigger envelopes. And I keep going back to, okay, so they're gonna get this, theoretically, they're gonna fill it out and then put it back in their mailbox. And so I'm just wondering how likely that is to occur versus, do we think that we're gonna get a boatload more back by doing all of this extra as opposed to having it at various spots for people?
My instincts say that you will. But.
And I think Jan brought up the point a couple of times, missing the opportunity to hear from a large slice of the town if we don't reach out in this way. And it might be the slice of the town that is often unheard from.
Well, that's very true, yeah.
How many households are in town?
About 400. Roughly.
I think so.
That's a ballpark.
Do you remember?
And it's 60-something cents a
How many
stamp.
households?
It's
You're not
60
talking
cents a
huge
stamp,
dollars.
so if we were doing 800 stamps,
800.
400 going out and 400 coming back, it's,
Oh,
I do that right, wait a minute,
$400.
$480.
If I'm not mistaken, we budgeted $10,000 for this, we're
Yeah.
only spending 9,300.
Just do it.
let's spend the rest. Let's spend what we need to.
All right,
And the
I-
hard part's just gonna be entering in the data when it comes back.
Yeah.
The rest isn't all that terribly.
I will get to you the kind of the draft of what the survey will look like by the 20th, which is Tuesday. And that should give you enough time. And I'm going to say Tuesday by midnight.
Yeah,
And when do you need feedback from us?
And then
1 a.m. 21.
School night, can't do that.
Yeah, I would say feedback, if you're gonna be stuffing envelopes the end of the following week, if you could get me feedback by
That Friday?
that Friday,
Mhm.
the 23rd.
And then with that timeline and the awareness that we've got Christmas recovery day, when would we actually have paperwork ready?
Yeah, like when are those envelopes getting printed?
That's what I mean.
You know,
The printing of the envelopes can happen anytime.
that's true. We don't have to wait for the survey to do
No.
it. Yeah, very true.
I could just get the list from Christie, and
All right,
every time I've got time, just let the printer go.
I can do that. Christie shouldn't have to, I can do it.
You have a computer?
Yeah, I do have. I do,
Yeah.
I do have.
And then I would need to get the final copy back to you by the Tuesday, the 27th.
Like all the printed copies?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to do the printing.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take your,
Final version. by
yeah, that final
December
version, not
27th.
copy version, right?
Staples does mass printing's fairly cheap.
I was just about to say those
Yeah.
exact words.
I've used them recently, and they are not what I would call cheap. But if you push back on them hard enough, they will lower their prices.
They are cheap, not cheap.
No, they have taken advantage of being the only person that really does that anymore.
So the London Copy Specialist, which is not in London, it's in, does that stuff. And their turnaround is really fast. It might be, they might not be cheaper than Staples, but they might be. I did some stuff with them. I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Yeah, I had to get some stuff printed for a work event recently, and I was just shocked at how much Staples charged.
Yeah.
Only game
Always
two.
has some work done right there.
Staples also says they'll get stuff done and they don't necessarily meet their deadlines.
Oh, yeah, that was good. They watched all the name tags that they had to do for me.
So how
They gave me one for free, but I was like, well, it's not really worth a whole lot at this point because
It looks like the final copy is gonna end up going to Aaron.
27? You get to print them all. And give them to
27th
us.
to Aaron.
Right, so then,
The surveys.
Yeah.
yeah,
Will Christie have the town office open that week? Could we pick them up,
Yeah.
our bunch of 100 with all the envelopes and stamps to be stuffed into them on either the 29th or the 29th?
Well, we're gonna get the final version on 27th. We just got 2 days to copy it. Yeah, we'll figure out a way. We'll get it done.
All right.
I can do that if you guys.
Are you sending
Um,
people per household or just one?
One.
what'd she say?
One per
Multiple
household?
or just one?
No, just one.
Any-
But
I have
can
two
it,
people in my house.
if people do it online, can different individuals can fill it? I mean, people can have different points of view.
Yeah, you can set it up different ways. I mean, I think it would be really hard to enforce trying to make sure people only fill it out once,
Right,
and there may be multiple people that just let them do it.
yeah. I don't think you have much control over
Yeah.
that, unfortunately. I mean, people could do the paper copy and they could do the online. So,
So next meeting, okay, sorry, this is left over from last time. Draft survey to be distributed to the community, distributed by Lynn.
Yeah.
To the committee
And I'll send that,
by December 20th. Committee
Yeah.
to provide feedback by the 23rd. Lynn to provide final version by the 27th. Stuffing envelopes on December 29th. Is there anything happening between now and the 20th? Are we all, we're just going via email for the rest of this?
That's right, Trump's breakdown, not a thing.
I think Lynn was gonna collate and digest and reform format,
Okay,
and the rest of us can sit back and do our.
sit back and
normal thing.
relax.
okay. Well, there were a couple questions that we sort of skipped. I
Yeah,
imagine people will still have opinions. There'll be a
Right.
little discussion. Is that gonna happen virtually or like
Um,
email or?
that's a good question. Because I think if we do an email thing, we're gonna sort of end up with
Don't leave me out.
the round, yeah, I've got you, it's got AA, no dot.
That's right.
It's just gonna wind up being another,
Yeah,
we won't have any definitive answers on that.
yeah. We could send you any thoughts that we each
Yeah.
have.
Yep.
Maybe you can,
Yep.
I don't know.
I can make,
do your thing with that.
yep, I can. I would say if you have a very strong disagreement to something,
Okay,
maybe voice that disagreement
okay,
and then
that works.
we'll kind of,
With the questions that you send us.
Yeah.
yeah,
Draft.
yeah,
We'll kind of
or
go from
even,
there. Everybody may be fine. You
right,
might find that one person's got a
right.
phone with one issue and
Right.
we address it.
Okay.
I think we'll have to just
When
carry
the
on that
draft
way.
comes, if we have a strong.
If you have something very strong, like, oh, I really,
Now or forever hold your
I
peace.
really hate that, then we'll work on that.
Well, let me know.
Bye, Jan.
All right, I guess that means the meeting.
Yes.
We were only an hour after your target.
Yeah, I know, I did a good job. I set a target, but